Good morning. We are pretty daggone early out here. Uh, welcome back. Depending on where you are, it may be morning, but for some of us on the call, it is actually the afternoon. If you
Yeah.
guys aren't aware, welcome to Roots and Routes podcast. It is actually good to be back with my co-host on a particular day that we want to point out because it is someone's birthday here. So, without further ado,
Happy
shout out to Miss
birthday.
Tisha. It
Woo,
is
woo,
Tisha's
woo, woo.
birthday. She is officially
Oh my God,
21.
Miss
Oh, not the celebration balloons. Nah, that's dope.
Shelley. That is so dope.
This is
Yes.
how you be a friend, even in
Yes.
another country, even in another state.
Yes.
Y'all act like y'all can't even be friends with people y'all done grown up with. She just gave her a whole virtual surprise. Come on, y'all.
Yes.
Let's
And I'll
do it.
never forget it. Thank you.
So, quick question. It's on my end, the audio is going in and out. How is it working for you guys?
I can hear you
I
100%.
fine.
Uh-huh.
So what's been going on, man? I know let's get into it because I know people have been on the internet. There's been a lot of stuff going on. We have a lot to talk about. First of all,
Yes.
we definitely want to give our shout out to Tisha. Tomorrow we will not be here, but tomorrow is Senor Akeem's birthday as well. So Mr. Akeem is joining us from where again, bro?
Thank you. Thank you.
Where are you
What you
joining
said?
us from? Where are you joining us from?
I'm here in Marrakesh, Morocco, where it is 4 p.m. The sun is shining and the temperature is perfect. Nice and
Mm.
warm and dry.
What is perfect temperature to you? Because anytime I need a coat, I'm not thinking that's perfect temperature, but I do see you have on t-shirt. So it's what 70, 80 degrees out there.
It is approximately
Don't tell me no Celsius either.
it's about it's about 80 degrees. I would say it's
Oh,
about 80 degrees here.
not
Not
bad. Not
bad.
bad.
Is it considered winter or summer there? Do they have those months? I know it's Africa, but most people just think Africa, the
It's
continent,
hot.
and not understanding Morocco is in northern Africa, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, so we're in the northern hemisphere, so all of our temperatures run the same as in the United States. So we're still in summer going into fall here.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's get into it because I know a lot of people been running into my inboxes. I don't know what goes on in your inbox, y'all messages or anything else, but I am definitely been inundated with obviously the whole move abroad thing, but there are a lot of global things going on that kind of impact the move abroad scenario. I know Tisha, you had mentioned to me seeing some things that were going on in some of these other places from I mean, we've got our own immigration things going on in the United States, but now this is seemingly stretching to other countries. What was it that you were looking at?
Absolutely. I mean, I think right now everywhere is heating up. I think people are, it's the global reset, right? People are fighting back. They want a better life. They want a better equality, right? So I know everyone's seeing the uprising in India, the uprising that's happening now in all these different places. What just happened last night in Venezuela, like how is that going to impact us in Colombia? But I honestly think and it all at the end of everything, everything's going to turn out for the greater good of us, right? It always happens for the greater good of us, but it does make you think, especially with me being so close to Venezuela and Santa Marta. What happens if a war does actually break out?
Oh yeah.
Are we going to be in influx of people from Venezuela? What does that look like? What is safety, etc. But I'm always positive. I'm always thinking, the positivity in it. But it's something that we need to talk about because it's truly happening. America's happening. India was crazy. If you guys caught that online, they're literally going in officials' houses and taking everything like jewelry, cars, art, all of that stuff. So I think right now, protesting worked for so many years. Now people are really, really taking it there. And what does that look like in the next coming months?
That's real.
Well, this
It's
is happening in Venezuela.
Yes. So last night, I think yesterday, well, the troops and the ships have already went to Venezuela at the top of last week. Trump sent the troops. Um, in his effort, he says to back to stop the cocaine trade. And so he put a bounty on the head of the president of Venezuela for $50 million. And so since then, I guess last night, a boat that supposedly had narcotics on it, they blew it up with 11 people on it overnight. And they made the announcement this morning. So what happens today, right? What happens going forward? What does that look like for everyone?
hmm, hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed all
People.
of that. I was on an overnight flight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
nuts.
it was a big move. This whole in the last 24 hours, a lot of things have changed. Um, and since then, I don't know if you guys saw the response from the president. Initially, the president from Venezuela was like, "Come get me, Trump. Come get me." Like he was really
Mm,
gangster with it. And then his last conversation is like, "Hey, you're being tricked. You're being tricked to come over here and attack us. It's not us with the narcotics. It's Colombia." Um, and you don't want to have Venezuelan
Oh,
blood on your hands. Don't be tricked. They're lying to you. That's the new conversation. So we watch it as it all plays out.
okay.
well,
Alrighty.
well,
So.
I don't know much about the conflict, but I, I'm going to add my 2 cents.
Go
Sure.
for it. I got about 2 cents for you too.
I don't think it's about cocaine.
I think it's about oil.
I don't think it's about, yeah, Venezuela
You
has
want
the
that oil
largest oil
money?
reserves in the world. So, um, anybody who says it's cocaine or anybody who believes it's about cocaine is um,
Using a lot of trigger words, using a
misguided.
lot of buzzwords.
I know, right? We
Using
gotta.
you're losing a lot of algorithmic buzzwords right here, my man. You're like
We got to buzz it
in the
out.
Well,
Bobain,
I mean,
in the
it's
Bobain.
going to be edited. It's going to be edited anyway. This is just for the sake of conversation, right?
Nah, you're right.
Mhm.
Or what?
Look, how
Listen,
far can we go with it?
right. This is
Just bleep it out.
this is something. Well, we're alive, so this is something that you bringing up that's
Oh,
important. So I always tell people from a plan B scenario or a flexibility scenario, looking
Hmm.
before you leap. Obviously, all of us have been, living and traveling through Colombia for much time and have seen a
Hmm.
lot of things happen. However, a lot of you guys are maybe looking into this. It may be your first time moving abroad, and the things that go on one, the things that the media reports and how it is reported, two,
Hmm.
will also give you pause for cause to say, well, hold on, I don't know about leaving the United States because this and this and this is going on. And
Hmm.
I had this conversation the other day with a buddy, and it was early as hell. And it was like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, why are you up asking me about this? And I'm like, he likened the military coming to the United States and going into the cities with what it is that we see in Colombia or Mexico, where you go down the street and you'll see military people with long
It's
guns
normal.
and it's normalized. And I was telling him, that is a reason why some Americans will say, well, I'm not going over there because they've got the military in the street. Well, now that's in the United States, but the biggest difference in that is when the military is in the streets of Colombia and Mexico, it is there to protect the citizens of Mexico from an organized criminal scenario. They're not
Hmm.
policing citizens with the military. Whereas in
Correct.
the United States, there is no targeted criminal organization. They're not saying we're going to DC to take out this guy, he's the leader, and this organization is structured. They're going there after normal citizens. They're putting
Hmm.
police in places for normal citizens because it's a bad neighborhood. And a lot of the sensationalism I know you had said this the other day when we were on there, Tisha, talking about like drowning out the noise,
Mm-hmm.
and elevating your frequency and how important that is because right now, with all of the opportunities to get news and information, maybe you were on an overnight flight so you missed it, but somehow you're gonna get caught up, and it's just like this is a lot, and
It
it
is.
could give people the reason not to leave abroad because they hear everything is so bad over there and still not considering the fish grease that they in the United States. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I want to say something in regards to the DC and the people being in DC. I initially was like, whoa, they're just going to go after, our kinds, our neighborhoods. But when I'm looking at the content and I'm reading the comments, there's so many people in DC thanking Trump and them for sending those troops. There's so many people doing live saying, "Oh my God, I haven't been able to walk to a park in DC in months and years and feel safe." So us looking at the news, we assume like the worst case scenario, but we don't live in these places, so we don't know how horrible it really is. Same thing with the president of Venezuela. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh God, here we go." But when you look at the comments, everybody is saying, please come get him, Trump. We want our country back, Trump.
Oh,
So it's a whole nother thing. So if you can go to any article in regards to Venezuela, and in the comments, everyone is begging for him to leave. They're saying he's the biggest in the world. I don't know, but I do know a long time ago we got oil from Venezuela. What caused that rift? It doesn't make sense to me because right now Americans can't travel there. And y'all know I'm a business person. I've been looking at the houses in Venezuela for months now. They got
Venezuela is
properties
a
for
beautiful country.
17,000, eleven
Oh, I'm sure.
thousand, 12,000 on the water.
Oh, I'm sure.
Big houses.
Just
yeah,
look at the
but
nice
there,
little Trump World Resort right there too, with
But
the
we
takeover.
can't buy as
but
Americans, we can't buy right now. So I don't know what's happening. But Venezuela used to be the number one Latin American country. They were very wealthy, they were
yeah,
very prominent. The place is absolutely beautiful. And if you read the comments, they're begging for somebody to come and step in because supposedly he's a dictator that if you talk bad about him, you're jailed, you're murdered, you're whatever. And they've never had a president election. Like he just keeps being the president over and over again. So there's a lot of things that we just don't know what's happening, but we're watching. And we say this to say, guys, don't be afraid to move abroad. Like we're still living. I'm hanging out every day. I'm enjoying life, but these are just things that are happening in the news. And it may be needed to happen. Like the people are screaming for help in Venezuela, and maybe this is the help that needs to take place.
I would be cautious to
yeah,
take off
good
certain
points.
people. Nah, certainly interesting perspectives for sure. I would take caution to certain things that are on the internet because you take the comments and whether it's what's happening in DC or what's happening in Venezuela, like you'd be surprised how many Venezuelans would be on comments like this. You have no idea a filter of who is actually there and saying these things versus who's on the other side in America because you see these things when it comes down to like Cuba and how
Uh-huh.
things are done. I lived in South Florida. So you have people that are in South Florida saying this is how Cuba should be dictated, and then you got other ways and people that are there that their version or message isn't getting out. So it's definitely difficult to be able to navigate what is the real thing that is happening. And even in
Mhm.
DC, I even because my boy said that there's people that are saying that this is a good thing. I would say that it is a little weird for the people that are the cause of the problem to end up being the solution of the problem. Whereas we know when it comes to black neighborhoods, the particular things that went down in black neighborhoods specifically, driving in things that were only driven into these neighborhoods. Now it's let's send in the arms of the people that essentially put these bad things in place to fix up the problem. It seems like a little batter syndrome situation in my opinion because you're asking the person who put you into the problem to essentially come in and fix said problem that they created. And I realized that it's starting to not just be a DC thing. They're starting to look at other places, and people may look at that and say, "All right, it's time to go. I think I saw the other day. Searches on Google after the elections increased 1,500%
Mm-hmm.
on how to move abroad. What's your take on that? Do you guys think it was isolated to one election, or was it just a culmination of a bunch of stuff?
I think it's a combination of a lot of stuff. I do a lot of consultations of talking to people. A lot of it is fear. A lot of people are just ready for another change. They want to feel like they have additional options. I just don't like a lot of the misinformation that's online. I spend so much of my time trying to educate people because the first thing they're saying, so why Colombia? Why not Thailand? Why not Spain? Why not these places? And they're getting clickbait, right? They're getting clickbait saying, hey, come to Thailand. You can get a 5-year visa. It's not true, guys. Yes, you can get a 5-year visa, but you only can stay every 6 months. You have to leave. And it's not a consecutive 5 years. And then the other thing is with most Americans, they don't have liquid cash like that. Some do, but not a lot of people. In Thailand, you got to show $15,000 in that bank account, and it has to have been in there for 3 years. But you see all of these people making these videos like, come to Thailand, get a 5-year visa for $320. And they're not telling the truth. I think that's my major concern about it all. Same thing with Spain. I think Spain, you got to show $32,000. Like, come on. Come on, guys. That's insanity. But you keep hearing people like, come to Spain, get a visa to travel all through Latin America. But y'all not telling the people the truth. You're hooking them in to make them get a call to you. And then you drop on all of that on them. So a lot of my consultations, I'm spending time trying to educate people. I don't want everyone to come to Colombia. That's not my goal. I want the people that Colombia chooses to come here, but I want you guys to do your own research. You can't just pick up and move
Right.
to another country without doing research because you are the same people who get online and say, oh, living abroad is not as easy. It wasn't that affordable like they say. I'm going back home. No, you made the mistake. You didn't do your
Mm-hmm.
research. So all these people hyping y'all up because I be laughing. I be looking at them. I'm like, how they going to get a visa? How they how they gonna stay over there long term? So I'm just watching it all play
Yeah.
out. Like it's insanity. So that's my take on it. I think a lot of people are just tired. They're ready to go and they don't want to do the work. They want us to do the work for them, but you guys got to do some kind of research. What do you think, Akeem?
No, I agree with you 100%. I'm listening to you. The research is important because there's no one size fits all for every person who's leaving. Um, some people are retirees. Some are on. I know a lot of guys on disability from the military, remote
Yes,
workers. So people, the one thing I will say is that you gotta have an income
you have to.
because I was gonna jump in when we were talking about people coming back. A lot of times people don't have income, and I hear people saying, "Oh, well, what kind of jobs are over there?" Well, if you don't have a job, then you need to
Please don't.
fix your income first before you can even consider moving. For the people who want to move, for the people who are, and this is where the research comes in.
Correct.
If you don't have income, find out that sometimes a lot of these countries they'll hire you as teachers, as English teachers, if you
Mm-hmm.
meet certain requirements. Um, there are remote jobs that you can work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but you can do research. You can go to some of the travel groups, and the black travel groups are always sharing employment opportunities abroad.
Mm-hmm.
If you have Social Security, if you have any type of income, one of the interesting things about moving abroad is you can test it out. You can do a 90-day visa, 90-day passport stamp, just test it out. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're somebody who's on Social Security or on SSI, if you get a check, um, a regular income, a lot of times that's enough. That's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's more than enough for you to live abroad and pay all your bills and be covered medically. So
Yeah.
and I'm sure you in your field you deal with people from all different types of backgrounds. So
Yeah.
um, to be, like I said initially, there's no one size fits all, and I'm sure you deal with that a lot. You deal with people from various backgrounds, various
Mhm.
financial,
Yeah.
levels of finance, and you know, so yeah, that's my intake, my input. Like, do your
That's real.
research and make sure you have either U.S. dollars or euros. If you're not making that,
There it is.
then
There
we're
it
not
is.
we're not having a serious conversation about moving.
Correct. Correct.
Because they're
And
they're they're
guys,
asking about what jobs they can get locally, and
yes,
that's
that's not
that's
what you
not
want
what
to
you want
do.
to do.
It's not, especially not coming to
Yeah,
Colombia. They're
no,
making pesos, guys, and then you don't want to move to a country really taking jobs. But there are countries that do allow you to work, like Germany, Canada. Well, that's U.S., but Germany allows you to work. Certain companies allow you to work there and will give you a good salary. But you need to do your research. I also say don't go from one country
yes,
to another country thinking to work. Like, this is your opportunity to be creative. This is your opportunity to bet on yourself. This is your opportunity to like just get focused with no distraction. Like, that's what I teach to my clients. Like, the first time they say, "Hey, can I get a job in Colombia?" No, you're not even ready to leave, because this is a mental. I'm serious. I'm not sugarcoating nothing anymore. You're not ready,
no,
because
you can't, you can't.
there's a mental toughness, capacity, strength level that you have to be in. And then a lot of people I don't accept. People who are calling me talking about Trump 100 times a day, talking about fear. You're not ready. There, everything is not going to go correct when you move abroad. And if this is the reason why you're leaving, you're going home. You are going home. You
Right,
have to have a solid why of why you're doing this. And every time you feel uncomfortable, frustrated, you land on that why. But if your why is the news, Trump, and all of that, no, it can be part of it, but that cannot be your complete why, right?
Main.
That
Mhm.
cannot be your main why, because things always work out for us. I'm just going to be a positive person. So whatever's happening is still going to work out for our greater good. You have to say, I just want a better
right.
life. And I'm going to do whatever I can to have it. And that was my stance. Like, I knew I was not going back. Though it's just I
Right.
wasn't. So um you have to have that stance, I would say.
Yeah, and even
Nah.
in that, what you like that wanting a better life, what does the better life look like for you as an individual? Not
Mm-hmm.
wanting what Akeem has, not wanting what Rotisha has, not wanting what Roger has. What does a
Correct.
better life look like? Because sometimes people just get caught up in what we're doing or what they see other people doing, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to you have to think of it like moving to another state. That's the
Mm-hmm.
closest thing that however you would prepare to move across the country. If you live on the East Coast, if you would, just hypothetically, if you were preparing to move to the West Coast, how would you prepare? It's a similar process when you're moving abroad. You
Yeah.
really have to consider what your needs are, what are your must-haves, and
Mm-hmm.
then find the places that interest you and see if your must-haves are in, if you can fit
Place.
if they can, if you can, if they have something to offer you, and if you can see yourself thriving in that civilization or in that situation. Because if not, you'll be just like so many other people, um, who there's a big thing now. I saw a couple of influencers talking about how, or was it a podcast talking about how people were moving back from Ghana
Yeah.
because they didn't realize
Mm-hmm.
how expensive it was.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to prepare. You really
Yes.
have to prepare. And I'm a person, I'm gonna confess. I lived in Cali, Colombia,
Uh-huh.
and because it was so cheap, I found myself spending more for
Yeah.
some reason.
Yeah.
And now I didn't leave. I didn't, and granted, I had enough I could afford it. I didn't spend anywhere near um, what I would spend at home, but I found myself oftentimes spending more than I should have. Like,
Hmm.
why am I spending?
So
There
much.
was once or twice I would catch myself at the grocery store, like, damn, that's
That's more than
that's almost a
America.
hundred dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
almost a hundred
You
dollars,
caught
bro. What
yourself
you
up in
doing, man?
Korea, huh,
What are you
my
doing?
boy?
Yeah.
You was in
What'd you
Korea
say?
acting up. You was in Korea treating it was like it was Sam's Club.
Yeah, and Exito and all those places, man. Getting my Tide and getting all my
Carusia.
name brand groceries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Because things are so affordable when you
So
first move here. You end up doing so many excursions. You end up traveling throughout the city. You end up tasting so many restaurants. And then before you look up, you like,
yes,
hold up. I spent so much money. I just did my taxes,
yes,
y'all.
Especially
Like
hanging out with Miss
literally.
Celeste.
I just did
yes.
my
So I, I
taxes,
am
y'all.
I
So
am
literally I
guilty.
know. Welcome back,
Nah, that
Michelle.
is
Excuse me.
yeah.
Is she back?
Welcome back.
I keep
She
accidentally
was.
shutting off my
I can't
screen.
see.
Oh, I'm
Yeah. So we now y'all definitely hit on some good points, and it was a lot of things that was talked about with the because Thailand keeps coming up,
Yeah.
and what I talk about, and you said it like you people will watch an influencer's video and be like, "That's going to be me," and it's
Yeah.
like you aren't them. They are them, and you are you, and you may have different needs than somebody else. The $300 place might not look like it outside of where they may look beautiful inside, but they may live in a neighborhood that you're not willing to live in. But you just went over there with your little $300, and it's like, well,
right.
where are the $300 place? I said this yesterday. I'm like, they sold all the $300 places right before your plane landed. We only have $300,000 places available, and you're like, well, this is what they told me, and it's like nobody's going to believe you. But so many people
Right.
are literally going from wherever they sitting here watching this on their couch and then saying, you know what? That sounds great. I'm going to book a ticket. Oh, it's only this much. And they're going there thinking that, like, oh, well, everything's cheaper. You do run into, yes, it is cheaper, but even Ghana is not as cheap as you would think. You talked about people not having liquid money. Like, when I told my boy the other day that he couldn't buy a house in credit overseas, he looked at me like, he's like, wait, so what? And I said, well, that's good and bad. If you done built up all your American credit, it only extends to you as far as the continental United States in
Correct.
most cases. And
Let me
you
Yeah,
hold
thinking that
on
your credit,
because
you have no money. Oh boy.
that's a real thing. You know, like we think that we have money because we have some access to, to some our how our system is. We work on a credit system a lot of times. So people don't have, that liquid cash. They don't really have the money that they think. So
Hmm.
no, just understand, and I know this a lot through traveling through different places in Africa. If somebody has some, that mean they really got it. Right? Like
Yes.
because if you don't have credit system, that means you're having to pay that money. You know what I mean? You're not borrowing
They
that money.
cash.
So you ain't really got, we ain't, so it's like, yeah, you
We
can't
broke.
go in expecting. I'm telling you. But
We
it's
broke.
listen, the third world in a Gucci belt is
Yeah.
precisely how it is. Because you can buy that Gucci belt on
Yeah.
credit. But just know when other people got it for
On
real, like around
Timu.
the world, and they don't have the credit system like we do, that means they really got it.
They got it.
right,
I want to piggyback
right,
on this.
right.
I really want to piggyback on this for real. Because you guys fly down here and there's okay, in every city there's amazing neighborhoods and not so good neighborhoods. You are so freaking judgmental. The moment you see a homeless person, like we don't have a homeless crisis in the United States. The
Right.
moment you see trash, you got something to say. The moment you see a neighborhood that's not built up, y'all don't own anything in America. Like that has to sit in your head for you to understand for real. Like you don't own anything. We are the brokest country in America. And I spend a lot of my time educating them. You see that lady over there? She owned that land. She owned that little house that you joking about. Nobody will ever come and take it from her. You see that car that looks like it's been driving for 20
Yes,
years? It's never going to break down because they don't have that trigger system like they do in America that makes us buy a car every 3 years.
you
These
preaching.
people own everything and they
Yeah.
pass properties down, whether they are $1 million mansions or not.
Yes.
It's theirs. And please, please, for the life
Generational
of me,
wealth. They have
stop
generational
coming
wealth.
over here feeling like you're better than somebody else. I am American. I'm the first one to say I don't have what they have. These people got fincas, they got land, they got
Right.
mansions, they got animals, they got farms. They are wealthy to me. I don't care how you look at them, they are wealthy to me. We are poor.
Right.
We are
It's
poor.
all in how and what you value, right? Because
Yeah,
they
you
have us
preaching.
valuing materialistic things, right? Like, but what is that? You get to see people being able to
Hmm.
retire. You know what I mean? Oh, they get to retire and go to their finca. They get to go to their
Yeah.
farmhouse and have their animals that have their horses over the, with a beautiful view of the mountains. Like
Retire.
that is wealth. That's wealth to me too. You know.
Okay.
So yeah, we
Real
do
well.
value some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's 70 some years old. She's
Yeah, that
still
word
working.
retire.
She's still
Right.
working. You can't retire. It's
Being able
nothing.
to
You
enjoy
keep
old
calling me
age.
like you don't want to work. You don't want to do nothing. I keep saying, Mom, come here. You have enough. You have Social Security. You will do great here. I'm scared. I'm so old. I'm that mentality. I have no patience for. Whether you're family,
Right.
friends, somebody I don't know. Fear is not real, guys. It is self-inflicted. You are self-inflicting pain to yourself. So
Yeah.
America has to wake up. And I think a lot of these things that are happening is making people wake up. But for the life of me, y'all are broke. Okay? You broke in that Gucci
Right.
belt, you broke in that off-white, you broke. You broke in that Benz that you paying a car note on. You're broke. These people are wealthy. They're time wealthy, they're health
Mhm.
wealthy, they're family wealthy, they're experience wealthy. Okay, it's a whole different type
Preach.
of wealth.
Preach.
No, for real, it's getting on my nerves.
I'm telling you. No,
Yeah,
seriously. But look,
it
Yeah, you on point with that.
it
You on
is
point with that.
bad.
I was just having a conversation.
It's really bad, y'all.
Hello?
We hear
yeah.
you, King.
Nah, it's good. Your volume is going in and out. But we were, we have these diaspora wars going on, and online and in the United States, those are the only places where it's happening. But
Mhm.
Right.
um, I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was just making them aware that the the people who are coming into our country are not poor. They are the upper echelon of their society. So when they
Mhm.
come over and they seem to, and they're looking down on or turning their nose up, we have this image that everybody from Africa is, poor and downtrodden and things like that. But a lot of these people have generational wealth.
Yes.
A lot of them have slave money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, to go back on what you were saying, like, yo, they have when you go to their countries, they have the land, they have stores, they have businesses and things like that. So, and that's real money. Like without the credit system, they got
That's right.
cash.
They got cash, baby.
How you think they? How
3%
you
of the
think they? How you think they're buying their citizenship and marrying some of these people in the states for citizenship? I ain't gonna talk about
okay.
that. I don't know if
No,
I
but
don't know
no,
if we can talk about that this
Cash.
episode.
but no, let's piggyback on that because what people are not even realizing too about this visa and moving abroad, everything is changing. You heard Trump say you got to pay $5 million to get that green card to come to America, right? Then now you're seeing other countries saying you got to pay this amount to come in here. You got to pay a visa now. You got to pay the entry fee. It's happening everywhere. So in
Yeah.
Hmm.
2026, to get a visa in another country, I don't know what the requirements are going to be. I'm bracing
Oh my
myself
God.
for it. But I'm telling my clients, like, hey, do not wait to after 2025. 2026 will usher in some new changes, and it may be costly.
Yes.
Like you see how Thailand, you got
Yes.
to have 15,000, and all these other different places. Colombia, you only need $1,000. But what happens next year? Because people are really structuring it. Like you coming in here, you benefiting off our country, you're gonna pay to be here, whether right or wrong.
I'm
I'm
Yeah.
telling
not
you.
saying that, but things are
Yeah.
changing. So anybody's looking at this podcast and you're thinking about leaving, you got what, 3 months? Well, how many months to the end of the year? About four
Four.
months
We. Yeah.
You got
About
to
four.
figure
Less.
out
Little less than
something,
four. Mm-hmm.
because it's a
Yeah.
lot of things are
Seriously.
ushering in. And the other thing about
3 months,
Africa, when I
October, November, December.
yeah, it's going to be some changes. And another thing about Africa, I initially thought, and I'm going to say this, and I might get backlash for saying this, but during my spiritual growth, all of us did not come from Africa. That's one thing also I'm tired of everybody saying. We were already here. Like, stop
Uh
saying I'm
oh.
going home to the
Uh oh.
motherland. I'm sorry, y'all can come after me all you
Uh
want, but
oh.
it's the truth. And go do your
Uh
research,
oh.
okay? We were already here, and they flipped
Uh
the map on
oh.
y'all. And when y'all talk like that, it annoys me. Okay, okay. And I'm not saying Africa is bad, but don't just feel like that's the only place you can go back to. Like a lot of us were Caribbean. Okay, we were over here. They did the same exact thing to us over here. The people in Spain, while y'all keep trying to go over to Europe. Okay, we ain't gonna talk about that. All right, so when you look up Africa, it's very expensive to live there.
She
Well,
just blew the
oh
whole
yeah, we're
thing
gonna get
up.
in trouble on this one.
This whole conversation is on fire.
We're gonna get in trouble on this. It's my birthday. We talking
We
shit
got
today, okay? Let's go.
grenades.
So when I was about to move, I was gonna
Muy
go to Africa.
fire, muy fire.
Oh, we lost our king. But look,
We done lost.
Africa is
We done
very
laughed his ass
expensive,
off the
guys.
daggone screen.
Africa is very expensive. Not if you want to
Y'all,
live on the
you gonna get
outskirts.
me
You
shut
can do
down.
that. But you're gonna be in traffic all day. You're gonna be in dirt roads. Y'all don't even know Africa got roads where you shit just on the side of the street. Do y'all
Oh
know
Lord.
that?
Oh
Like they
Lord,
got,
girl,
because there's
no.
no,
I
no,
It's a
tell the
lot
swear.
of.
truth.
I,
Tell the
but
truth,
that's
Michelle
not
A.
everywhere. You got, but there are places like everywhere. You know what I mean, where you can go, and it's not as the infrastructure ain't in
You
place and
need some
everything.
money. You need money to live very well in Africa. And I, leaving America was okay. I still knew in that moment I could not afford it. Because if I'm over there, I want the driver, I want the house, I want to be in the city, I don't want the traffic. So that's what we mean when we say, guys, do your research. Don't just say, oh, I'm going back to the motherland because I'm from Africa. And then you get over there and you have a horrible experience, and then you on the internet talking about how bad it is. No, you didn't do your research. So I
So
just
yeah,
want to say that.
on that topic, because that was something I wanted to talk about today, actually. Because I just saw something recently talking about some current events. It was a
Mhm.
whole somebody had a conversation online when they were like, pointing to. It was a wave of especially like Black Americans and like just blacks throughout the diaspora who moved to went back to Africa. They had this idea, and I think we do romanticize some things. This is from a person who's lived and traveled in several African countries, right? So, and
Okay.
I know that my lifestyle now, while I think there are benefits to things, like it's some things like you, Tisha, you touched on earlier about adjusting even your mindset, right? Of like when you go somewhere else, first of all, you're not going to the place you came from, right? And it's not to say that where you come from is the best. We can name a million ways that other places can be better, and however, it's certain comforts and things that we have, it's certain things that we're used to, just and this can happen to anybody. You're used to things being one way wherever you're from. Now when you go to another place, it'll be a mistake, a huge mistake, to go and think that everything will have to be exactly the same. Systems run the same, like the same, the infrastructure, all of this stuff, right? So I think for the first step, you go and you can adjust to whatever happens, right? Like there are places that can experience power outages. It's not the worst thing in the world. Like I've experienced, like when I first, like the first country that I lived in outside of the U.S. was Ethiopia, right? Of all places, I moved to Ethiopia and I got my own apartment. Like the first
Ah,
place that I was at, it was cool. You know, we have all of, you know, all the normal things that we had in the house, right? I have running water, yes, hot water, all of this stuff, right? Gas stove, all of this stuff, right? However, when I went out and got my own apartment out there, I happened to move to this area where they would experience like only certain times in a day when they got water, but it was actually because they were doing a lot of construction, right? I ended up learning. But what that time taught me though was like I would have to get up at 3 in the morning and wash my clothes, take a shower, do all this stuff like in the middle of the night. And it was like, well, it was a big adjustment for me. But guess what? If I have to take a bucket bath somewhere, like I was in Cali, Colombia for Petronio a few years ago, and the Airbnb didn't have hot running water.
bucket
Like what
man.
you know, also in some places, if the climate is hotter, some
Hot.
places don't have hot running water because
Ain't
most
that
people are trying to
hot
cool down.
water?
You're not trying to take a hot shower in a hot place. However, you know, I'm like, I didn't want to take a cold shower. So I was like, I can make a bucket, you know, I can have a warm bucket bath and I was completely fine. Whereas everybody else was spiraling like, what I'm gonna do? I don't want to take a dip. And I'm like, so you know, it teaches you different things. But that was just
Mhm.
like one of my first lessons in adjusting to like whatever you have, you know what I mean? Like you can't go and expect everything and then your world just crumbles and you gotta go
Mhm.
move back home because you weren't prepared for that. But yeah, y'all touched on several things. I was still listening even when I was disconnected. But yeah, touching on several things like, you know, just yeah, we can't expect everything to be exactly the same. We have to adjust your mind. When you're adjusting your position in the world, like literally your physical place, you're uprooting your life to go somewhere else. You have to adjust. Like that only makes
Mhm.
sense to adjust your
Mhm.
mindset.
And the quicker you adjust, the faster you'll start having a good time. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's insanity to assume or to want to leave one country and go to the next country and do the same exact thing. That's another thing too.
Yeah,
Like I see people come
yeah,
from the US partying, clubbing, drinking every night,
Yes.
and boom, they get right over here partying, club.
Clubbing, partying, drinking every
It's
night,
not
the
gonna
same
work.
thing.
Partying, drinking,
It's
and
not going to work. And then they get 6 months in and they like, oh shit, now I got to come up with all this money for the visa or I got to go
Right.
home. No, handle your business when you first get over to a country and then establish yourself. So, hey, if you establish, you can party every night. Ain't nobody can tell you to go home. But if you ain't established, and
yeah.
I know you ain't established and you partying every night, then you calling me trying to come up with a solution on how you can stay, my patience is
And
done.
let's
Right.
double down on what y'all mentioned earlier about don't come somewhere else looking for a job. Like this is the perfect opportunity. If you have the freedom, like we do get to enjoy cheaper rent and stuff like that for the most part, right? Like in most places that a lot of us choose to go, we can enjoy cheaper rent, right? Like less expenses. Even my phone bill is $13 a month, whereas I was paying almost $100 a month in the States. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have to think
what's your
smarter,
internet bill?
definitely. Hey, hold on. Don't do that to
Yeah,
me.
for sure.
It's not my internet. It's the storage.
How
Okay.
much is your internet bill? Because we might need to double
We're
that.
going to put some on it.
Get you some,
We're going
Look,
to put
my
some
put a
on
little
it.
internet,
pacifier
the
around or
connection is
something.
fine. The
But
connection is
you know
fine.
what?
But yeah,
You know
yeah.
why though? I'm gonna
Mm.
tell y'all why that these people are looking for jobs abroad. Because in America, they don't realize that they have a global currency in their hands that is more valuable than what America sells it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Things just cost so much in America. I tell
Yeah.
people if you got a USD, if you have the ability to make USD in euro, you giving that ability up is the complete wrong. How can I go get a Thai job in Thai bot or whatever it is? And it's like, what are they paying? What is the local wage? What is the average person? Because if a lawyer in Colombia can make $3,000 practicing USD equivalent, but that same lawyer in the United States would make $12,000 to live that same lifestyle, why are you willing to go give up your US dollar, the ability to make it, and not realizing that yes, 30,000 may not go that far in the United States. However, 30,000 USD can go a lot further. further outside of the United States. So trying to get people to understand that you may need to, and I tell people are coming to me with professional jobs. The optometrist said, I may leave optometry just so I can move abroad. I'm going to look for a new career, find a job, and do whatever. But I know I don't need as much money as I'm making, 120, $150,000 as the whatever that sunglass hut or whatever optometrist people are. But people are really that understand, yo, as long as I can make USD, that $1,500 SSI check that might have me have to go pick up another job at Walmart just to make ends meet. Well, the digital nomad visa in Colombia is only $1,000. I'm not saying you're
Hmm.
going to have this grand lifestyle, but try getting a house and food in a safe place in the United States for $1,000,
Give
and you
me
don't have
fifteen hundred
$500
dollars a month
or
and
you're
watch
in
me
a
make it work in Colombia.
really bad
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Just $1,500 for nothing. Watch me
But you
work
can't.
it, make it work.
You will literally be homeless.
I know exactly where to go.
You
Yeah.
will be homeless in the United States when
Yeah.
nobody realizes that they're willing to once again take America with them, and it kind of leads us into the shedding process that America has given you. The best, the worst thing that America did for Americans was tell them that they were the best thing that since sliced bread. Because then it was we are the best thing since sliced bread. So everybody else is essentially secondary or tertiary, and not
Ooh,
realizing that
child.
these
Woo.
people, when you talk about just bare necessity stuff, like what it takes to survive, being able to get sick and get better, being able to educate your kids, being able to say that things are relatively safe, depending on where you are. But in most places, you're seeing a lot more stabilization in places that, from the United States looking out, things aren't right. They're getting a lot better treatment than what it is that we got back home. I know for a fact. I go to the doctors and I'm like, what the hell is
Say that
this?
again. Say that
I
again.
went to the doctor.
I've never
My appointment
experienced
was at
this.
8 o'clock. I'm seeing people walk in. I'm seeing people walk in 9 o'clock, come past 9:15. The place just keep getting more crowded. 9:15. The place just keep getting more crowded. 9:30 come past. They finally say, "Hey, sir, it's your turn. Go back there." The lady come in another 10 minutes waiting on that. I'm like, hold on, I've been here since 8:15. We almost at 10 a.m. Then they go and she asked me a bunch of questions. Said, "Doctor will be right with you." Doctor come in. Listen, you can get a McDonald's drive-through meal in the amount of time that he got. It came. It was quick. Hey, how you doing? You all right?
It's
Oh, she
quick.
gonna come back and take your blood, man. Let me go. And then they charge me to get in there for the copay. Mind you, I'm already paying monthly insurance. They charge me 35, 40. That's not on the house.
I'm telling you.
Nah, let me get another dub walking before you get on out of here. So, and I'm like, what is this? So you guys are looking at these things and expecting both America and from your eyeballs positive way, like, oh, when I get there, this is gonna be like this, and also America in a negative way, like, well, what's the healthcare like? A lot better than what you got going on, honestly.
A lot better.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear
Yeah.
you, but you're going in and out. But
Nah.
it's a
Yeah,
lot better.
But
I can't hear. I can hear almost nothing. So like when everybody's talking, I can't. That's why I'm just trying to follow.
okay.
It could be my connection.
Okay.
Yeah. But
But you
so speaking of on this topic a
Hey,
little
Michelle
bit.
Global.
So yesterday, can y'all hear me? Oh, sorry. Yesterday, actually, I was working.
Yeah, you good.
I teach English out here sometimes. So, at a place that I go to teach, one of my students was talking to me, and he's doing really well for himself. He actually works for a company. It's an international company, but they have like a Colombia branch, like a Colombian team. So he does like software development and things like that, right? And he was telling me that his twin brother is studying to be a doctor, right? And they get like he was telling me all about like their university systems here and stuff. So all of their public universities are free. So first of all, I'm like, I'm really thinking a lot of the times, because I've heard this in many places that I've lived in and traveled to, where university is free. Meanwhile, many of us in the US with college degrees or contemplating, wanting to go to college, we got to think about being in debt for so long. You know what I mean? Like just with student loans and all of this stuff. However, his brother is studying to be a doctor, right? And so, it takes about the same amount of time, about 7, 8 years or whatever, but for example, like he hasn't had to graduate with one degree, pay tens of thousands for one degree, and then go and pay, tens of thousands at another, and then now he's 100,000 plus
Correct.
in school debt. You know what I mean? So, um, anyway, we were talking about, well, what can we use now as far as the tools? Like, I'm sitting up there brainstorming with him. He was like, he's gonna propose to his brother, like, look at TikTok shop, like sell some, you could be selling some merchandise, like while you're still in school, you know what I mean? Like, come up with something. We have so many ways
To
to
make
make
money.
money right now. So just like we were talking about people freeing themselves up, being more financially independent and things, so that they can go and enjoy that, the money that you're pulling in, right? You're pulling in like money, currency with a higher value, and going to a place where, you got your money could go a little longer. We're talking about the same thing, right? Essentially, where you can be creative. I think people need to be more creative with how we can be making money to survive, right? Because he was like, well, basically they have to do the same thing, like with the residency. He's coming into the time where now he's finished with the studies, but now he has to go into the residency, which he doesn't get paid for. So that's the downside, is like, well, how am I going to survive while you know what I mean, while I'm going to school still, or doing my residency to be a doctor? So he got to, you got to, that's a career anyway. You got to be ambitious. You got to be like, resilient, because basically if you don't have the money, if your family doesn't have the money to support you, like he was saying that his, my student is independent, like he's been working, he does software development and stuff, he has his own apartment here, you know what I mean, he's living a good life, he gets to travel and all this stuff. And he was like, his brother, while his brother is studying to be a doctor, is actually able though to live at home with his family, you know what I mean, while and doesn't have to worry about, I have to get an
Saving more
apartment,
money.
and yeah, I gotta go to school and get an apartment. Like the whole time I'm in college, I'm with people, I'm going to school with people who've been working since they were in high school. Because first of all, we live in, like, it's such a rat race, and it's so expensive in the US, where it's like you can't have that time off to just enjoy, discover yourself, like find out, you know what I mean, things that you really enjoy and that you like. It's like you don't have the leisure time, which is very on purpose, right? Like they don't want
Very
it. The
on
more
Yeah.
purpose.
leisure time that we
Very on
have, the more
purpose.
time we got to be creative, and you know what I mean, and inspired and all of this stuff. So yeah, it's like I really wish people thought more about that. Like I think that's the movement that I'm behind, like supporting. Like, let's be more creative. Let's be more, explore these different things, that can upgrade our lives and
But
get
that
out of
was
that
the
rat race.
Yeah.
that's the construct of America, though.
Yeah.
You got to remember, we would have to unlayer that thing so much to even talk
So
about it.
much.
But we were
Hmm.
set up. The whole
Yeah.
thing was set up. The women's movement was set up just so they could tax another entity from a house. It's so much that we need to talk about in that arena, like our parents being bamboozled to kick us out or make us work at 16 when they
Yeah.
parents let them stay in the house until they got married. All these things were done to us and we fell for them. And the one thing Black America don't want to do is admit that they were wrong. Right. So we could have woke up a long time ago. We could have took off these colored glasses a long time ago, but that would have had to admit that mama was wrong, grandma was wrong, daddy was wrong, I was wrong, and people don't want to admit they were wrong. They standing
See,
on stupidity. They're standing on the
Ego.
yeah, the ego. That is the most I want to do a special about
I
killing
want my
your
parents.
ego.
Gotta
Killing
kill
your
it.
ego is one of the hardest levels to break through. It is one of the hardest levels to
Okay.
break through. That's why so many people are angry and arguing and shooting and killing each other because of ego. And the moment you let your ego go, life becomes in flow state. Shit becomes easier. Things that used to trigger you don't trigger you no more. Things that used to throw your whole day off don't even happen to you no more. I really want to do something about that in regards to killing that ego for men and women. For men and women.
Yeah.
Easiest thing to, you know, hear me?
No, barely. A little bit now.
Behavior. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you behavior? That's where the ego. to do, and I'm saying about now, it's how we've always done with doing what we that is starting to maybe not
Yeah, we can't hear
given
you.
so much. Really now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're
I
back.
know TikTok can.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah. So what I was saying was that the learned behavior and the what we're seeing now is that there are so many different opportunities. Like they're not giving anybody everything has had to be. That is all I can be.
We know you
Can
spitting
y'all
some
not
hot
hear me?
fire, but we can't really hear you. But well,
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I'm hearing 40%. I'm only hearing 40% of what
it might be
anybody
the
is
same.
saying. I
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, I
say I have
can't.
any
The
audio
devil trying to
issues,
be busy, y'all, because we talking and we
Right.
but
dropping
I
Cause we
believe it
gems.
is
talk, we
still
saying too
recording.
much.
We done said
yeah. I think
They
it's
like
this
turn
platform.
them
I don't think
off,
this is
turn them off now.
Right.
I don't know if it's the
We disrupting
platform
the
because
system.
we all can't have bad signals.
Yeah, I can hear you perfect, Kim. I can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you perfectly fine.
But I can't hear y'all. Like as soon as y'all start talking, it goes out.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
so it
yeah,
could be me. It could be my signal.
yeah.
that is a very
But yeah, anyway, this I mean, look, this whole topic, but this we are saying we given like this these perspectives like I wish that we talked about them more. I mean, I'm glad that we are here to talk about them and all from different walks of life, different perspectives and stuff. But yeah, like I mean, even Akeem, you mentioned the diaspora wars, and that's something like it's been bothering me so much because at this point in time, this is the time like where we need to be united more than ever. We need to be seeing the things that we have in common,
Yeah,
seeing how we can work together, right? Like because it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. Like trying to have us divided because divide and conquer has been one of the number one proven, tried and true. It is rinse and repeat. This strategy works all the time with dividing people, with keeping people divided. It's trying to show, how different you are and how somebody don't deserve something and you do, or you know what I mean? And
right.
pitting us against each other. And this is not the time to be doing that. Like look at everything going on in the world, right? Like in it's just kind of we can't be bamboozled by this strategy, by this same strategy time and time again. Like we have to get over this at some point, but yeah.
Right.
I had the topic I actually wanted to, or one of the topics I wanted to talk about today was like the identity. What is identity? What is global identity, I guess, or the perception of it around the world? Because my recent trip to Peru, I worked with me and my friend Jasmine. We created this program called Nailed It, where it's for young girls in different communities that we're living in and serving, right? And so
Mhm.
in Peru, we partner with an Afro-Peruvian organization, right? And so this topic of identity came up for me in a new way because it seems like in some cases. How do we relate, how do we identify somebody as black, right? What constitutes blackness, right? Because I think from the US perspective, I see this is especially like considering social media, right? Internet language and stuff. Sometimes I notice like when people say black, they exclusively mean black American, right? But other people in the world also identify as black. You know what I mean? And then you would think back to like I'm thinking back to in Peru. it seemed like it was like a one drop type of situation. Like everybody was not visibly, you know what I mean, identifiable as black. You know what I mean? Like we think, what are some things we think about? Like your skin color sometimes, you know, hair texture, things like that, right? And then plus, you
Uh-huh.
know, like cultural things, your lineage and things like that. So um yeah, it was like less, it was just something that came up and I was like, how do we all consider blackness? Because this is in that conversation when it comes to the diaspora wars as well. Like, you're not considering somebody else black because they speak another language, or you automatically including somebody as black or brown because they do speak a certain language. Like I saw somebody online, it was a guy that was like, you know, oh, it was I guess a act like where some girl, maybe just say for example, use the n-word, right? And they were like, you know, people were like, oh, you know, she don't have the right to say and all this stuff, right? And then there was a guy in the comments that was like, oh, her last name is like Garcia, like, oh, she a little brown, you know, she's brown, she's not, you know, white. And I'm like, y'all, it made me think, like, you know, and this is the person that has a black studies degree, and so I know about like enslavement and this stuff like around the world, you know what I mean? And these are things that I check out when I'm traveling too. And I'm like, well, do we not know that the transatlantic slave trade and all this stuff was, I mean, Spain, Portugal, are these places not in Europe? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're only used to whiteness as in like maybe from Great Britain. You know what I mean? Like, how are y'all even, like, how do y'all even consider like what's white? What's black? Like, it, you know, in this whole concept of race even being constructed to keep people divided for certain reasons. But yeah, how, I'm curious, how do y'all
This is good.
identify
This is
or
good.
think of people
This
as,
is good.
uh-huh.
I want to say this. I'm not going to be able to stay on to continue this conversation, but this is really
Okay.
good. I would love to come back to this.
Okay.
Um, so even if y'all continue without me, we can put a pin and I'll come right back and give my 2 cents. But this is
Okay.
good. This is really good.
I don't know.
I
It's
love
it's
this.
it's
This is my
it's
thing right here.
it's
Uh-huh.
twofold for me because I've seen what you've been seeing like online, like the people from Africa are saying they're not black, they're African American, versus us saying we're black. I don't believe in none of it. I don't accept any of it. I am just the shit. Like I don't even know if that's a thing. I am the shit. I don't because there's some black people I don't agree with. Like I don't like. So I'm not grouping myself with nobody at this point because I don't we've been lied to so many different ways. We don't know what is true. Um, but I do see all of the diaspora wars saying I'm not black, I'm African American. So now this is the new divide between us. It's weird, and that's why I just accept
Yeah.
that I'm not none of it. I'm not any of it. I don't know what the fuck I am, but I'm not that. I'm not a nigga. I'm not black. I'm
Yeah.
not African American. I'm not human. I don't even think we supposed to be called human. I'm a spirit. I'm a spiritual being. That's what I identify with.
A spirit having a human experience. Us,
Exactly.
us.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I want to get away from those
All right,
words,
y'all.
that
Well,
language.
I gotta go.
Where
It's
you
been a
going,
pleasure.
Akeem?
Y'all, look, I gotta get my life together. It's 5 o'clock here, 5 in the evening. I gotta go shower. I gotta eat dinner. I gotta get my life together.
And your birthday's tomorrow, so have fun in Morocco. Eat a lot of hummus. A lot of see, look,
Thanks
that's
so much.
yes, the lamb. Eat a lot of that
Huh?
stuff. When you come back?
What'd you say?
When do you come back?
Oh, I leave here on the 10th.
Okay, okay. And you coming
I
to
gotta
But
Cali
be
on
on
the
I'll
the
see.
what?
I
East
think I'll
Coast this
see.
time.
I think I'll see y'all in Bogota at the end of the month if y'all go to the Kendrick or the Afro. What
I'll
is
be
it?
there.
The Negro Fest. Negro Fest.
Yeah, Negro Fest, and I'll be at the K Dot concert.
For those of us
Okay.
who can get back into the country.
See, look, see, this is why this podcast is good, right, y'all? Because everybody's going to Kendrick Lamar, but I'm a Drake fan.
Oh God.
Like,
Okay, let's
I am a
cut
Drake
before we get
fan,
too deep into
and
before we get
I
too far.
I like the Kendrick, but until that beef happened, I had to choose a side, okay? And
Oh
I've
Lord.
chosen my side.
Don't choose
And
the
so
wrong side.
so I can't
You're
go
on the
to the
wrong side of
show.
history.
I can't go to
Wrong
the show.
side.
No, let me say
Listen,
this. Let me say this. I'm gonna tell you why. It's not that. I feel like it's some clickbait. Y'all just I in that war, in that beef, he won to me. I feel like Kendrick still got a lot of questions he need to answer. And I don't know. I always feel like when everybody just ganging up on one person, I'm always gonna go with the underdog. So I
Oh
can't
Lord.
come to Kendrick Lamar because Drake might find
Oh.
out.
Oh Lord. Uh-oh. We gonna get you. We got. I'm gonna see you soon, sis. So I'm gonna try to. We're gonna try to get this together. I'm gonna have to. Because maybe I ain't doing my job
Yeah,
good
we
enough.
yeah we will have to do something. We're gonna have to link up and assemble or something. Maybe
Yeah.
we can catch a flight to Playa del Carmen or something. So everybody, let's try to be inclusive. Maybe we can try to be
Yeah. Yeah.
inclusive.
For sure.
I don't
But
know.
I want
I
to
don't,
go
you
because
know,
so many
because
people going. But I'm like, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Yeah.
sweetheart. Uh
Oh
huh.
Lord. No.
So Akeem
But
is
all
about to
right.
leave. RJ, we can't hear you. Yeah, that they jumped from Miss Chalet to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See, it
Well, I'm
wasn't me
signing
after
off,
all. It
man.
wasn't
You
me.
guys have a great afternoon or a great day.
Right.
Enjoy your birthday, Ro. And
Happy
I
birthday.
thank you. Happy birthday
I'm
to
a
you
Virgo
too.
rising, by
Take
the
care of me,
way, so I
Chalet.
feel a little included.
Huh?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, you can celebrate with us.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
they we've
Well,
lost
girl,
everybody.
I
Hey,
know. Like it
girl.
looks like it's me and you.
It's it. Well, we have like
It's our
20 some
world.
topics. It's our look. Lily just got here. Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I love you. All right, y'all. That's Lily. She basically runs the house. If you've ever, and this is my editor behind
Right. You
me,
got your
JJ.
team. We talking. This
My
is a boss.
team.
Okay.
So yes, but no, let's get back on topic, Michelle. We got like
Yeah.
25 topics to talk about before
I know.
everybody
It's
come
so
in.
much. It's so
I
much.
want to thank everybody. We cannot see the lives. We cannot see Instagram, YouTube, or anything. So if you guys have stayed on this long, we thank you. We get on here and we talk our thing, but we being honest and raw. So don't cancel us for stuff we say. This is a free space. This is a free space. But let's talk about the spiritual growth that happens when you move abroad.
Mm.
Let's talk about that. RJ, you got to get your sound right. Call us in from the cell phone or something.
You got to
You're going to
phone
have to
in.
come in. All right. So I think that's the next thing I want to talk about because spiritually, I think we both had that in us in initially anyway when we was in the US. You have to have some kind of know withal to even have this desire to leave. And you've left since what 11 years now, Michelle.
12 years. It's been 12
12
years I've been
years.
gone.
So when all y'all keep calling me talking about how you make money, she has not worked for a corporate job in 12 years. 12
Hello.
years. That's being
Mhm.
creative. That's betting on yourself. That's having faith. That's confidence. There's so much that goes into that. That shit be going up, down, rocky.
I'm telling
You
you,
hey, you better be ready to face it. And now after 11 years, you already know it always work out.
everything always works
Always
out for me.
fucking work
Literally,
out. And
everything
that's
always
so
works out.
exciting. Yes. So,
Hmm.
guys, once you can get into that belief state puts you in flow state. And what I mean by that, when you're in flow state, you're aligned to source or whatever you want to call it. So all those things that used to happen, tickets, money going here, drama, arguing and stuff. Like when I hear y'all arguing with people back home, I'm like, people still argue? Like that is weird to me, honestly.
Right.
But I understand you are in a frequency that you don't align to. So it has you off. It has you in your ego 24/7, thinking
Yep.
everybody's out to get you, thinking you have to defend yourself every time you're having a conversation. I used to be you. I just had more spiritual in me, right? And I'm a Virgo. Hey guys, we hot-headed, right? Um, but what happens when you move? And what happens when you move to a ground? I believe Santa Marta is spiritual. Your connection, your absolute to know that you're gonna be okay
Mhm.
comes and hits you so hard and it gets you emotional. Even though you have scary moments, like I run several businesses, I've been paying employees for years now. You have your moments like, whoa, whoa, expansion happens, new employees
Yes,
happen, but there's a stillness in knowing that it always work out. I don't know. It's like
that's
the
the whole word.
universe. Yes, the universe rewards you for having faith. That is true faith, right? When you leave the construct of what they tell you you have to have a job, a house, and all of this stuff. And when you leave that construct and you're betting solely on yourself and your spiritual connection with source, you are rewarded in so many ways, y'all. We can't even explain it to you. Sometimes I can't even put it in words. It's something that you
Yeah.
have to go through. The magic happens. I call it magic. I call
Yes.
it magic. Like there, it's yeah. You go, Michelle, because I get emotional
Yeah.
thinking about it.
No.
Like,
No, you going off. You going off, sis. No, but it's totally true because like I was saying, even from the resilience from enduring something that you weren't used to back home, right? Like change is very uncomfortable for a lot of people. I'm a person, I like to change, I like to challenge myself. I'm not afraid to cut my hair off, for example, right? I had
yeah,
locks, I had short hair, I had, you know what I mean? And so like I am used to, and I like to take myself out of that comfort zone because I do realize that, right? Like you open yourself up to more opportunity, to more abundance and blessings and all of these things if you allow yourself to just like let go of
mm-hmm.
that, of those things that just keep us tied to something, the materialism, all of these things, right? And that doesn't mean that you can't like nice things. We love nice things. We
Hell
like
yeah,
looking nice. We get it, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like it's not saying that you got to be a pauper or nothing, but like
yeah.
it's really it's all mental and spiritual, you know what I mean? All of those things. um and yeah, so it does take you shedding a lot, like you said, like that word shedding. We have to shed a lot of things because when you think about it, right, you're letting go, you're getting lighter. And what do we
Yes,
think of? Like, what are even the images or something that we think about when we think spirituality? We think like levitating, like floating. That means you got to be light. If you're held
yes.
down by all of this stuff, you're making yourself heavier. Okay, so it's like, yeah,
Okay,
is that's very important. And I think more so than ever when you want to prime yourself to move abroad, and this applies even if you move out of your hometown, right? Because I went to
mm-hmm.
college in Atlanta. I'm from LA, but I went to college in Atlanta, and even then, you know what I mean, I didn't have all my family and everybody that I knew in Atlanta, so it caused me to have to shed a lot then, right? To have to
Mm-hmm.
be open to building family. You know what I mean? When I think spiritual too, I'm thinking like you have a spiritual family as well, other people that
Yeah,
align with you on a spiritual level that are not blood related, you know what I mean? So it's so many different aspects to it. Like it's a great benefit really. And that ego is another, that's a anchor. Okay, your ego is an anchor. So when we let that mess go, we can really, we can really just be sailing. I really wish more people just focused on that, shedding that
that
ego.
part. Shedding the ego is one of the hardest. If in the perfect world, my whole content will be about spiritual growth and
Mm,
breaking through different levels because it's almost like life is a video game, right? And you going through life. Think of a Mario Brothers, and you got those ducks that come to you and they trying to kill you. Those are the
right.
negative entities that come your way when you're doing well, right? You get the mushroom, it gives you extra life. You become bigger. Oh, those are the people that come and support and help you. But what happens in life construct, and I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna break this completely down. We get so bent out of shape when things don't go our way, but when we playing a video game and we die, what do? We get back on that freaking game and we keep
Yep.
playing again until we win. But we don't
Yep.
apply that same concept to our life. We
Yeah.
automatically think when things don't go our way, oh, woe is me. Oh, God is not real. Oh, why is this happening to me? When we're not looking at what is actually happening. I went through this too. And this is about the ego, right? Living in land, I'm getting tickets all the time. I'm super speeder. And my response was, it's too many cops here. They just always coming after African Americans. Man, Atlanta, this. It was not about the cops. It was about me. It was
Mhm.
about me. I was not doing the right thing. I shouldn't be speeding. I shouldn't be running freaking
Mhm.
lights. I shouldn't be doing those things. And until you guys get that self awareness of yourself and stop blaming everything around you, those rituals will continue to happen
Mhm.
over and over again until you respond the proper way to each situation. Nobody got to tell you there's no counselor or no nothing. You can sit in a quiet room and say, what couple things keep happening to me? Okay, what do I need to learn from this? How do I need to respond to this so it don't continue to happen? That is the whole premise of life,
Exactly.
literally. And so now when I see something outside of flow, because I'm in flow state, shit just be aligning, just going right for me.
Mhm.
Like I'm in bliss, like, hey, let's go.
Mhm.
So when something throws off or anything outside of that flow state, I don't automatically say, oh, why is this happening? What you need to respond properly. Because if you don't respond correct in this situation, it's going to repeat itself until I do respond correct. I hope
Yeah.
you guys can understand this, but I'm going to do a deep show about breaking through these levels because there's levels in life where you have to show certain levels of discipline. And that ego one is one of the biggest ones to get out of. That fitness one, caring about your body, is another one.
Mhm.
That your ego, that responding to people aggressively, arguing and fighting, all of those things you got to break through.
And
And
those
until
things don't work, especially a life like, because we talking about travel and living abroad and stuff
they
like
don't
that,
work,
right? So when you are
So
able
so
to get
clipped.
past that, then you know what I mean? Like it makes you, this experience can be so amazing.
it's it's so amazing when you
It
become when you
doesn't.
release your normalcies of America, which ain't normal. That shit
Yeah,
ain't normal. When you move
it's
abroad,
not.
you'll realize a lot of stuff we was doing back home is not normal, y'all. It's
You just used
sickening.
to it.
It's
It's
absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
it's
Like
like what the
throwing money in
fuck?
the club is
What?
absolutely the most outrageous thing
What
that
are
It
we
is
you
have
the
normalized.
doing?
stupidest shit I ever seen in
It
my life.
it
It is,
is
and then
absolutely
most of the people
it's
throwing money in the club don't have an insurance policy for their children. Don't own their car. Don't own their
missing
house.
a side tooth.
Mi-
They always the ones that got the money to throw in the club. You
Missing
didn't
a
have no
side
money
tooth.
to get
And
this side tooth together, but you
I
got
cannot.
plenty of money for the.
it's the
I'm sorry,
stupidest
It's the
stuff.
somebody.
And when
ego.
y'all
It to
come
appease
here
the
and y'all throw
ego.
that money in the club here, I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed to be black. Stop it. Stop
I'm gonna
it.
tell you something. A lot of people, when the normalization, they're not realizing that they're actually in the bubble. They're not realizing that there's an entire world out. So when you're saying like, well, you're not, they're not seeing this stuff.
They
And
don't.
when they're applying it, it's not like, oh, well, this is not accepted or this is not acceptable. Even when you talked about ego, think about how many fights and arguments we've seen. I'm from Philly. I tell people, Philadelphia Airport, they are undefeated in rumbles. Like you are
No
gonna get your
way.
butt kicked in Philly if you get out of line, and it's gonna be so. You think about people getting mad when things don't go their way, yelling at people, slamming things, throwing things. I'm about grown people. I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about
Right.
grown people.
Wrong.
And then you look at how this would be received or ill received abroad. Now, I can't speak for everywhere, but I know you get to yelling at people and screaming and doing all this stuff in Colombia, Mexico. I don't care how big you are and how little you may think that they may be, but it is a lot more of them
But
than it
and you
is
don't,
of
but hold
you.
on. You don't want to be locked up in abroad. You don't want them
Yes.
conditions. I didn't heard about some
I'd have been to
conditions. You know
jail.
what I
Take
mean?
me to jail. You ain't
You
been
don't
to
want
this
to be
kind of
locked up
jail,
in
player.
abroad.
This ain't Wright Street. This ain't State Road. This
And
is
you
they
don't know
don't
they
got no road.
laws.
You
You don't know
don't
if
know.
you got to stay in there to a year to go to court. You have no
Y'all,
clue.
Give me
hold
my
on.
give me
Speaking
my
on
phone
this,
phone
let me
call. You don't get a phone
a
call. We in
funny
Colombia.
a funny story though, like a travel related funny story on this, right? We were talking about like throwing money in the club, for example. I know somebody who was locked up when I was living in Qatar, who was locked up for doing a music video and like, you throw the money and stuff because he was in the damn music video stepping on the money and it's illegal. He didn't even know the laws that it's illegal to step on their money. And he did a whole music video like balling, balling, balling and stepped on the money. And now
I was
you got
just
locked
grinding
up.
my feet,
You
grinding
don't
my
even
Yeah.
feet.
know. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's like so many different things, you know. So this is, yeah, it's a mixture of like mishaps right there. Like you gotta know, first of all, try to learn the rules and stuff of where you're going.
Or
And
I'm an
all the
American. I'm
all
gonna
jury.
of that
call the
stuff is
embassy.
unnecessary
Y'all
It's
killed me
so
anyway.
with that one. I'm
unnecessary.
calling the embassy, and I'm like, y'all see the long side street that they took? They had to give a weapons dealer to get Brittany Griner back over a vape
I'm
pen. A
saying
vape pen, y'all people. I tell people all the time, even like you talked about Qatar and the Middle East, and I'm like, y'all. There are people that travel to these places, and their ego thinks that, well, I'm American, so I'm good in every
it don't
hood,
apply to me.
and it
Mhm.
is the craziest thing because I'm like, yo, y'all might come from California, wherever it is, it's legal. Smoke your weed, do your thing, go for it. But y'all think, oh well, I just leave it back at home. I go to Dubai, I'll be good. Well, in the law, it says that if it is in your blood system, and for somehow you mess up yourself doing sand dunes and jumping off the Burj Khalifa, whatever it is, they run your blood. You got it. You got it on you. You don't even realize it. And I'm like, then you will see people. Well, this is why I don't go abroad because that is the
Right.
story that gets put in
The
on the
ego. That's the
headlines.
It's the
ego.
ego. It's all the
That's the
ego.
ego.
I know.
How
Remember
you gonna say you can't go
Rihanna
abroad
got
because
kicked
this
out.
happened?
Yeah,
These the laws
Rihanna
of this
got in
country.
trouble from trying to go
And
into
nobody knows
the
it.
spot in was in Abu Dhabi. She tried to go into the mosque uncovered, right? Like that, you got to think, even, you know, and this is the thing too. It's like also it's teaching us stuff about the world. Like I love travel because it teaches me so much. It gives me an opportunity to just be open to so many things. And you might think that it's a loss to not be able to be reckless and do whatever it is that you do at home, whatever those liberties are. But it's like you do have to think about being respectful and entering different spaces. If you come into my home, I don't care what you do in your house. You're taking off your shoes. You know what I mean? Whatever my rules are, this is my house, and you got to think about
Hmm.
in terms of going other places as well. You know what I mean? We have to
Hmm.
be able to adjust.
America
It's
teaches us the
embarrassing.
colonizer spirit, though.
Yeah,
It teaches
and
us
it's
that
We
embarrassing.
so
they're
self-centered.
happy that we're here. Our presence. Look at them. Look, now there's Americans here. Now we can now democracy is here in the room. And it's like that's not how we're received. And I tell people because of the lack of education, the lack of experience, especially I can only speak about my community, but my family did not grow up traveling. And what my mom, my dad, their mother and father, they didn't grow up going and seeing the world. So this experience thing, I had to really lower all of my drawbridges and say, I'm willing to learn, not because I had all of the knowledge that says this is what you need to do. I when I started coming to Colombia, it was at a time when most people were not coming to Colombia. I was invited by somebody that was Colombian. That was my passing. And what I saw was this is, even though living from South Florida, this is not South Florida. The Spanish that they're speaking is not the Spanish that I'm used to dealing
Yeah.
with. Everything is going in a different way. And I immediately had to stop myself, even coming from growing up in Philadelphia, and say, I'm not from here. I don't even know what the hood looks like. I don't even know what danger looks like, even though I know what danger looks like. And I can be in a bad position because if I would have went and took the American Eagles that I see on TikTok and all of this other stuff back in 2017 into Colombia at that time, maybe nobody ever would have came because they would have been like, what? Because everybody came after I posted all these pictures and they were like, oh my God, it's Colombia. Da, 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 da. Like, is that somewhere to go? But if I would have went there and had a bad time, then people would have been like, nope on the
Right.
rope.
They
But all because I didn't go there with everything how it was supposed to be. My ego was very little. I knew I was a
Mhm.
baby in a new country. I didn't know
Yeah.
anything. Yet America
Hmm.
positions their citizens to believe that despite not knowing anything about the world, they're still the smartest people in the room.
It's so stupid.
It's stupid, and we know it's
It's such a
true.
I was
self-centered
stupid.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. We've all
Mhm.
opened up so much. And honestly, if we were telling the truth, the culture is a lot better in Colombia. I don't know, a different place.
Family
Like when I think about
oriented.
everything, when I think about all the stuff that we go through in the US that we think is so good, that shit is stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
The one, if we could say one thing on this topic, this is America, right? This is the rest of the fucking world, y'all. This is
Their
America.
propaganda,
This is the
the
rest of the
American
world.
propaganda system works so well though, so we get to export our culture, right? And other people are fooled by that too. I'm very honest when I meet other people abroad, like people with different cultures and stuff, wherever I go, and and they expect certain things, because I'm American or whatever. And I'm like, y'all, I be real honest with them. And I'm like, it's not all what it's cracked up to be, what you
Nah.
hear, right? Because we're good,
Oh, yeah.
again, a third world country in the Gucci belt. We really good at the presentation. But one
Mhm.
thing right now with this person that we got in this house, again, I don't know how that happened. Well, I do know how it happened, but like, you know what I mean? It's like people are hearing more of the ignorance and seeing for real. Like we people with the internet and with social media and stuff, we see more people's thoughts and opinions that are above average. We wouldn't normally hear all these people's opinions and thoughts and stuff, at least not this quickly. But
Mhm.
it's like it's showing itself. A lot of people are finally getting to realize, like, oh, they're not, some of the people are not so bright, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
some of those systems don't work that well, you know what I mean? And I hope that also, I think it's going to empower, this wave is going to like empower other people, like to value what they have more too. Because I hate when people think that, oh, I need to go to the US or go to any other country, that they say, because the US is not the only place that other people desire to go to. But it's like,
Mhm.
if we learn to just value what we have as well, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
then it will be what we value and what we can contribute in other places too. Like it would, I think that'll just work out better for everybody. But yeah, I mean, look, it's so much. It's so much.
RJ, we tried to stay on topic, but without our leader here, you're back now.
Yeah,
Let's
nah, y'all
go.
good. Y'all good. My apologies. The spirit of Michelet's internet came across my
Look, don't be
tablet
putting that on me
and
now.
had
Because
a
her
little
stuff started
switch up.
working real good.
Bruh,
Listen.
now like yeah, she sat there and was like, "Dear Lord, please take this internet far from me.
Look, that's
Don't
my
do."
spirituality. You got to get your spirit right, okay? You got to get your spirit right, brother. That's
Nah,
Mhm.
it.
that's definitely nah. It has been I think it's definitely been a lot of positive conversations that have been going on here because I think a lot more people are starting to realize that there is a little bit more that needs to go into the work of moving abroad. It's not just putting my things
Yeah,
in a bag and landing in
it's
another
inside.
country. It is
Mhm.
so much of an insight. It's so much of a elevation process, a transformation that goes on with you because you can't be who you are where you are today, where we are.
Mhm.
You just can't.
Mhm.
And you won't
Mhm.
want to be. You won't want to have the
Exactly.
focus on where your life is right now. Your focus on life and money in the United States is getting to work and going to work every day and barely having enough just to say, I'm Tisha, I'm Michelet, I'm RJ. Like you, most of us don't even have that at the end of the day. Time for
Mhm.
ourselves, our family, forgetting. Oftentimes, we've been so focused on making the money, getting to the dollar amount that we are supposed to get to or feel like is for us, and not
Mhm.
realizing that the only thing that we do when going to work and looking for them to pay us is essentially exchanging time for money that is supposed to give us more time.
And
However,
then
that equation is not on our favor anymore. We are
The
exchanging
math ain't
time for
mathing.
money, and we need more time and more money just to be able to say, I have house in the home. Never mind
Mhm.
the human things of spending time with each other, going out to eat, having a good time with your friends or family, not because it's somebody's death day or something else bad happened. These things are often forgotten in the American lore and what everything American provides. And even
Mhm.
with you, Michelle, talking about what people from other places, when they talk to you about, oh, you're from America, and it's like, well, when you tell them what goes on, they're like, what the? Like, but I
Right.
didn't know that. Well, why do you think that I'm here? Do you think that I'm
Yeah.
here because it is the
Right.
land of milk and honey that they
Yeah.
have sold you? I remember I had a buddy that left, jumped the border from Colombia, got into the United States. By this
Mhm.
time, he reached back out to me. I was already living in Colombia. He called me from the United States, said, I'm $200 short. My rent is $1,500. Can you help me? I said, excuse me?
Yeah.
You want me to pay American rent? I told you
Yeah,
it was more money, and it's like the illusion of more money availability in the United States and not understanding how much things cost. That's why
But
it goes back to
absolutely.
how we first started these
Yeah,
conversations and saying, take that. These are your weapons. America is giving you some things you can use, but you can't use
yeah,
them in America.
well,
Take that
this is the
ability and
thing.
make USD.
But this
Bro,
is the thing, right? Like we have access to so much more now. I mean, we talking about information, resources, all of these different things that can realistically make our lives a lot better, right? Some of us are smarter at, are better at using them, working smarter, not harder. However, they would not like knowing how our school system is was started, knowing how, they want to continue to have workers. If you can again focusing more on the inside, to go out, and things that'll work out on the outside is if you're able to figure that out, you have to understand that you have to get out of that rat race because the goalpost is always going to move. What was the American dream before this house, the house with the white picket fence and all of these things? We already know. Even the people that have that, are you really fulfilled? The people who've
no.
accomplished these things that are on
property
the
taxes.
when it was a certain, I'm telling you, it's always going to be something where the
Or a horrible
goalpost is
tenant.
always going to be moving. So, like, what do you need to do to be content, to be happy? Focus more on the
Your thing.
inside.
That's true.
Mhm.
That is absolutely true. I used to push that, and then somebody wrote under my comments and was like, "Well, everybody's not built to be a business owner." And then I had to sit
Mhm.
there and be like, "Damn, he might be right, right? Because I'm a business owner. I need workers,
Mhm.
And that's how sick. Don't it sound sick? Don't it make you angry when somebody say something like that? That's how angry I want them to make. I want to make them, right? Because what you're saying don't even make sense. And now AI is here. So now all of y'all who not thinking of yourself and creating yourself that want to be in this system because you don't know how to think outside the box and be and create something for your what you finna do now?
Right.
What you finna do now?
Don't always be last.
You try.
Because I know for a fact I use AI all day, every day. We built a software company. We have people working from the Philippines and they're using bots and everything is AI. And RJ, I got you coming up next week. Okay.
Call
I
me.
got you. Um,
Yamada me, puff.
yeah. So what are y'all gonna do now? Because I'm looking at it now, like my AI set up my appointments, my AI sell my products while I'm asleep. My AI is putting out blogs, my AI is emailing y'all. I'm not doing none of that stuff.
Okay.
My AI
Talk
is putting me at the top of
queen of working
Google.
smarter, not harder.
What are y'all finna do now? The ones that just want to be in a working system. Y'all not even trying to learn nothing. When I go home, I still see everybody clubbing, y'all. My friends that I left is still hanging out every weekend at brunch, at bars. It's
Apartment
over.
4B. Shout out to Atlanta. They got
It
some
is
good oxtail hummus. Apartment
we got
4B
some
got
good
a good
food.
brunch.
We do got some good food, y'all, but it's all a trap. Like if I was a club owner right now, I would be switching everything over to like health and wellness spaces, all that stuff. People are not drinking anymore. I know I don't want to drink anymore. I'm 3 days not smoking. And life is changing. If you're evolving and you're growing, and two, if you want, it also depends on what you want, right? Because I am a business owner. I'm not an influencer. I keep telling everybody. I want to have wealth. Why? Because I need more wealth to expand, to help, to give back, to do things that I want to do. I'm not ashamed to say that. But it's like, what do you guys actually want? Right? Because life is changing and people about to start educating themselves and we're moving fast.
Yeah.
Life is moving fast. There's going to be so many layoffs this year and next year, and it's going to keep getting worse and worse. Even if you don't want to build a business, you better learn how to use these bots. You
You
better
got to
learn
do
how to
something.
teach this AI. You better learn
Mhm.
how to do something digital. I have something coming up for women 40 and up. It's going to be free. We're going to do business. I'm going to teach y'all how to make money online. And I only want to talk to women. It's not that I'm against men. It's not that. It's like we really at this point is the financial bearers of most houses right now. We got to fix this construct. I'm also
Yeah.
going to teach them on how, no matter what, you chose this guy, you better lift him up as a king. My husband, I have to lift up as a king. Not saying he's not there, but if he wasn't there, it don't matter. There's things that he is appointed that I am not appointed. God gave him things that he can do that I can't do. So I have to. So we have to come up with better ways on communicating how we talking to each other. We're too masculine. We still have to have some masculinity. I'm masculine, I'm Virgo, but we need to really work on our ego, communication, building, relationships. Guys, they've tricked us for so long. We need our black men. And I feel like they're coming back. I feel more masculine men on my page, more men talking about real stuff and family and providing and being there. And the men that I know are already doing that for their children. I don't know these men that these women be talking about because we don't be around. Our energy is not going to even, a man not taking care of his child, a man doing all this crazy stuff. We ain't even going to be in the same vortex because he ain't going to like me. You going to already feel it. I ain't with the shit. So I can't wait for this to drop. It's dropping at the end of the month. But guys, we gotta do better.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna need you to make an exception for me. I'm a couple
You know
years
I
off,
got
but
you.
I'm
You
Hey,
know
I
I
got
got
a
you.
I got a question that's in the somebody asked in the chat. I hear you guys are moving to Colombia. It's a great move, but how do I stay long term without dropping 30,000 or a business? I think I might know who this is, or at least this question keeps coming up. Or business or 150,000 on a house to get a visa. Uh, this,
You are okay.
that I mean
All
that
right,
is the
guys.
long term option. Like so, there's so
That
many.
let me
I mean,
say this.
okay.
Let me say this, RJ. The digital nomad is your easiest way in, right? That means you got 2 years, 2 freaking years to figure it out. Whether you're gonna do a business, whether you're gonna buy a property, you got to make it happen in 2 years. If you can't make nothing happen for yourself in 2 years with no distraction in a spiritual land, on the beach, and all these creative people, one thing I can say, moving abroad, everybody wants to work together. Everybody wants to collab. In America, that never happens because we're all thinking somebody's out to get us.
mm,
Get in the door by doing your digital nomad. That's it. But remember, guys, you can come to Colombia for 6 months, a year. 6 months, go
yeah.
to another
Start
place,
there.
6 months, go to another place, 6 months until
Start
you
there.
figure out what you like. Me,
Start
for
there.
myself, I have to have a home base. I'm not a person that can just be moving every 6 months. That would drive me insane. So when I moved to Colombia, I knew I was going to be here. But you have many options. Get in the door and you'll figure yourself out. Your tribe will show up. They always show up. Everything I need always seem to come up, right? So I would say give yourself that 2 year window to be working on something digitally, to be figuring out AI, to trade, to do all these different things because there's so many groups of that in any country that you go to, and start there. I have a business visa, but of course I have restaurants. So it was the easiest visa for me at the time. And the reason why I did that visa, because long term, that's the only one you can do. Digital nomad would never get you citizenship. It would
Nope.
never get you citizenship,
Counts for
but
no
you can
time.
do it every 2 years. So it's okay. But I wanted citizenship. I want citizenship in many places, right? So I would say start there. If you can't commit to the digital nomad right now because it has a fee, do the 6 months. See if you like it. Travel through Colombia, see if you like it. Go somewhere else for 6 months. But do your research. Don't just listen to these people tricking y'all
And
on
lock in.
and locking
I got it. I got it. Hold on. Because
that part.
the visa part, if you don't know, I ask people how much time have you spent? Don't matter Colombia, Mexico, but how much time have you spent in the city that you're looking at? Do you know what neighborhoods that you're looking at? Because before you go about any visa, like the visa has changed. When I first got it, it was relatively easy. You didn't need all
It
this
was
paperwork,
you
and
didn't.
now you need FBI background checks, fingerprints. Depending on if you own a business, you need state incorporated documents. You need to be active.
Yes.
They need to be translated in apostle. These things can add up. So I
It's
tell anybody,
expensive.
if you are just starting your move, you're just starting your move abroad. You do not. I personally don't recommend getting a visa. Use if you got a U.S. passport. Goes there first. That way, when you go, say, okay, I'm gonna go do my visa and take all this paperwork. Okay, but at least you're basing this decision off of something. You know what neighborhood you're looking for. You know a number of things that matter when you actually land on the ground. Y'all are asking for residencies in places y'all have never been. If I ask you, well, where do you want to get your residency in Mexico? Well, I want to get it in Cancun. Okay, well, what neighborhood do you want to stay in? Well, I just know I want to be in Cancun. Why?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would you do that? So, person that asked that question, how much time have you spent in Colombia and where have you spent it in Colombia before you are looking at a long-term visa?
You
And
got
have
six
you
months.
when you went and spent time, were you there doing tourist things or were you there actively looking for what you would be doing on a Tuesday? Because to go spend all this money, most of y'all are like, well, I need to go get a year lease. You guys can't take America's expectations with you abroad and thinking that you're going to have the exact same experience.
Mm-hmm.
You aren't, this is not a move from New Jersey to Atlanta. This is a move
Mm-hmm.
from Atlanta all the way to Colombia, and specifically Medellin, specifically to Poblado, specifically to Ciudad del Rio, all the way knits down to where you are and what it is that you need. So I tell people, yes, people get paid off of getting you a visa. Okay, but the money, the long term money is in you being a successful client. You coming from
Yeah.
America, going through the entire process and saying, yo, they didn't let me fall. They didn't let me go rush out here and get a visa because I spent 6 months here and realized I don't want to live in Medellin. I actually want
Yeah.
to live in Santa Marta where Tisha is. But I went
Yeah.
and bought $150,000 worth of house in Medellin thinking that that's where I wanted to be based off of TikTok and everything else. And I'm like, you might be on TikTok watching this. I'm just saying, don't let this conversation be the only conversation that
What
you
you
are
have.
having with yourself. Because I can't
Mm-hmm.
answer what makes the most sense for you. 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
in Betty, a week in Santa Marta. Oh, says somebody knows you in a week in Bucaramanga. Okay, so that is definitely getting
You good.
your on your wheels on the right path. I just think that you need a little bit more. Like I said, before you go put any visa, use your passport. Those 6 months
Yeah.
should give you what you need. 180 days should give you what you need before you go say, boom, I'm in Bucaramanga and that's where I'm staying.
Yeah.
Pretty set on Cali. Seems most suitable for my family. Excellent. You are making decisions both for yourself and your family, which you are factoring in a lot of other things that people that are just looking to jump out aren't
Correct.
thinking. So it sounds
Correct.
like this person is doing a good job, but those long term things do come down to, I would say if you're not a business person, it's more money, but it's probably less responsibility. I mean, it's a house, but not having to worry about business taxes and employees and bank accounts. It may be easier just to buy a property if
Mm-hmm.
in there. But yes, you do need $150,000 probably just to feel comfortable. And even though a place like Cali or Santa Marta, the actual cost of a nice place might not be that. That's what you need to get the visa. I have seen people open up businesses and then get the nomad visa, or or
What?
buy a house and didn't buy the house at the time they were doing an investor visa. They just went and bought, and then they went and got a nomad visa. And I'm like, this is why we have these conversations. This is why we don't. It's not my money.
And this is
It's
why
your
we have the
money.
relocation tours as well. Give
Yes.
Exactly. We
information.
So
walk you
I
Like this.
around.
Yes, because
Yes.
I've had clients purchase properties and didn't do it the right way, didn't send the money. Not my client. Let me correct that. I've
Yeah.
had people purchase properties with another realtor, not with me, then come to me for to do their visa and the paperwork wasn't done correctly. And now they cannot get a visa. Okay.
Dang.
So that's the other thing. You have to be
Jumping the gun.
communicating with people on the ground. I did it before I moved here. I contacted someone down here. I think I paid them like $800 just to have somebody translation driver, somebody cooking for us prior to me moving here. I stayed 3 weeks here. I'm a Virgo. I can make it anywhere. Everybody's not built like that. I can navigate if things don't go my way. Okay, I'm already doing self work, but that might not be for everybody. So, like he said, you might need more time. And the 6 months is an amazing opportunity to travel and to experience and do all of those things. But if you have a family, I see why you say you want to be stationary somewhere.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely do your research, guys. I have never traveled to Cali. Everybody loves it who travels there, so I definitely got to put it on my travel list.
Hmm.
Yeah, we definitely got to bring ourselves there. Honestly, it's the best season. Petronio Alvarez Fest is held during Leo season, so I do have that on
Mhm.
my calendar
Mhm.
next year. So go ahead and softly put that on your calendar, Tisha and Michelle. I want to do
I'm
Yeah,
silent drinks
coming.
and then head over
for sure.
to Cali.
I'm
Uh,
Definitely.
definitely down.
for my birthday, so we definitely not got to get that. But these are I'm glad to hear that somebody has done some legwork, because
Uh-huh.
most people aren't willing to do the work, and it's just
Mm-mm.
like, how do you set your expectations? Because if you go to Cali and Medellin and Santa Marta and then Bucaramanga, you're going to see those are five different places. Like
Total
they're
different.
they're they're completely different. And then you factor in places
Yes.
like in Cartagena, like all of these are different. The people are different. The opportunities, whether you're family oriented or you're by yourself. And that's why I'm like, for what the visa asks you, let me ask you this. Can I see your bank account? No, no, seriously.
True.
Like whoever's watching this, can I see your bank statements?
Oh,
How much money do you make? Well, you got $1,000 a month? Well, I need to see your bank statements. I
three
also
months.
need 3 months of them. And I also need to get your fingerprints, all of them. Do you see how intrusive that could possibly be in a place where you're not 110% sure? When you have a easy date option, you can go on a date and just have a good time. Hang out with her for 6 months. You don't like her, leave her. If you like her, stay there. Do the things that you need to do. Start with a short term visa. And then if you say, okay, well, only long term ways I have to go with either coming up with 30 or coming up with 150, make a goal,
Mhm.
set a plan. You just went from you spending United States $8,000 a month, $5,000 a month just to survive. If you are cutting $2,000 a month off of your monthly expenses, in 1 year you could have $24,000 if you do things direct and right. Do you see what I mean? People aren't
Mhm.
breaking down; they're just looking at the end goal of, I want to leave the United States.
And I'll
And
tell you guys a good way to do it, but you guys need to reach out to somebody. If you want to do that business visa, so many different ways you can do that. I myself and my team can set it up. If you have a partner, say if it's just two of you guys, so you don't have to pay the 30 some thousand all at once. And if you are married, I can get the visa for your wife and your children as well under that visa. So it's different ways, but you guys definitely need to communicate with people who are here. There's other options around that, but want to piggyback off what RJ said. Every one of these cities are different, guys. I'm in a beach town. RJ and Michelle are in a city. Medellin is like a big Atlanta. You got to understand where you want to be. I didn't want traffic anymore. I wanted to be by the water. I wanted to hear the waves. I wanted sun. Like we are hot 24/7, 365 days a
For
year.
real.
So if you know you don't like heat, this ain't for you.
Yeah.
This is not for you. So you have to do your research. Medellin is warm in the day and cold at night and rains a lot. And it's a lot of traffic and it's hilly, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. But it's different. Cali, from the videos I've seen, I don't never see sun. I just see buildings. So I
It's
honestly
warm
don't.
out there for
step of
sure,
your
but
It's
tent.
yeah,
warm,
it's
but I
different.
honestly don't know the environment. Bucaramanga is a whole nother animal. So there's so many Parada, there's so Valle du Par, there's so many places in Colombia you guys have no clue about because everybody's just looking at Cartagena, Medellin, and Bogota. You half of the time you don't even heard of Santa Marta. So I would say
Hmm.
travel through the country. It's an amazing city to see. It's an
Yeah.
amazing country to see that you just open your eyes to like, wow, we did it all wrong.
And
And if we could,
do your due diligence, like finding out discover what are the things you need or what you're looking for in the place. Don't just go because something is popular. Don't just go because you're hearing a lot of people going there. And
oh,
we honestly, we don't need a lot more people and all these places. That's how we ruin it. You know what I mean? You don't want everybody coming to the same place. Look at her beautiful. I love going out there to visit you. Look at that background. Like, oh my God. And right off the water too.
so guys, if
Amazing.
you like beach town, if you like Miami, if you like all of those places, that is what Santa Marta is. Just 20 years ago, right? We're about 20 years behind from all of that overpricedness, the valets, the $100 umbrellas on the beach. We're about 20 years away from that, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
But this is the lifestyle. It's slow, it's family oriented, it's kids playing all night. Like the kids are out all night with their families. Why people think it's so dangerous. It's slow lifestyle, it's yoga, it's massages, it's not clubbing, it's not hip hop, it's not that. So a lot of people come here and be like, "Oh, it's too slow for me." Good, leave. We don't
Yeah.
want y'all here.
Come
You
on,
understand?
soft
So
life.
like,
We want the soft life.
we want the soft
It sounds
life.
like Santa Marta is for the aunties.
It's for the aunties, baby. It's for the aunties. We over here living good. Doing what we want. We doing
You
yoga.
went
We
there,
doing
got your groove back.
Pilates. We got our groove back. We working out. Our skin is looking good. We eating healthy. We at the beach. We grounded. So yeah, if that speaks to you, you come here. If you want a club, hang out, see other African Americans, party all the time. Even though Miss Chalet don't do all of that, or
Yeah, I don't.
RJ. That is Medellin, literally. Like, so the moment people call me and do a consultation with me, and it's like, well, where are the guys and the black? This ain't for you.
Wrong line.
Wrong line. Wrong line. Wrong line. So
Yeah,
All right.
I
I'm gonna
just
they
have to
want, I
definitely
don't
getting
want to
active out there.
sugarcoat nothing for
yeah.
nobody, because I get so angry when I'm looking online and people are telling all these lies, like for Thailand and Dubai and all these different places. Like, they are lying to you guys. You guys gonna uproot, move your whole family over there for that $300 rent. And when you realize about that visa, your ass is coming back. And them flights are expensive. I'm not even going to Thailand and I got the 15K. Okay. But I'm not doing that for what? And then they have all those weather things. Y'all have to do
Typhoon,
your
Do your
tsunami.
due diligence. But yeah.
Y'all,
All
I
right.
mean, I see so many
Yeah.
people moving to Thailand and I'm just like, how they gonna get a visa? What they finna do? So y'all gonna be over there illegal? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
That's another story.
No, for real. It's
Yeah,
so many things
uh,
to think about. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go too, y'all. I'm gonna have to
all good. We'll be back
enjoy.
next week. So keep
Yes.
your eyes posted. Make sure you are sharing this with somebody that needs to see it. If you did not go and you're not seeing this on YouTube, go to Roots and Routes podcast. The entire conversation, all of these conversations are there, as well as clips. So depending on if you have a short attention span, you can digest something in a minute. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you guys for tuning in. Tisha, happy birthday. I hope you blow out a
Thank
Yeah.
candle
you.
and get every wish
I'll
that you
see
would
you in
like.
Santa Marta soon.
Yes, guys, Michelle Lay will be doing her workshops here. So if
Yep.
you guys come at the end of the month, we're gonna have a good freaking time. RJ,
Yes.
we will see you at the top of the year, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, you already know. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit.
All
All right,
right.
guys.
All right. Bye bye.
Ciao.
See
Bye
you.
bye.